Hello, I'm Nightmaaron, and welcome back to The Letter. So, we're playing Marianne now, and I don't remember if she touched the letter or not, but I'm pretty sure she did. So we're going to find out if the horrifying grudge lady is after her, which probably so. She is with everybody else so far. Let's see. Alright. 7:15 p.m. The numbers are so little on the top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can just hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have a perfectly good excuse. Jeez. Considering I don't follow typical office hours, they really can't expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. The client is first and foremost my priority. I have to sit tight when my personal assistant, Chris, tells me we have a big one coming up and that I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on the who's who's and the what's what when it comes to these socialites, and I can trust that judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people, their drama, and their politics. The sort who were born with silver spoons in their mouths and who were used to wagging their silver tongues about. I let him handle the negotiation with them for the most part. Why else would I have hired him? But he told me I'd receive a message about it an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, you know, to an extent. Sort of. Pressing my head against the table, I try to stave off an oncoming headache when the notification for a new email pops up. All I'm expecting is a, hey, this looks like a good project I found. Go send them a design. Or something like that, really. That's how it often goes. Even with these rich, jammy clients who's heard of me from their equally rich, jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. Which is all well and good and reasonable. We figure out what they want, send them my portfolio, my drafts for their projects, my rates, and hope for the best. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Baruthiel for you. Just please take this one project. I promise this person is huge in Luxbourne. Mr. Parker, this is a formal request to secure the services of Marianne McCall, hereinafter called the designer. As authorized by Hannah Wright, hereinafter called the client, for interior design work at Ermengarde Mansion, Luxbourne, LX18 ORF, United Kingdom. The client hopes to have the designer there on 21st October, Friday, within the time pending. But as I open the mail and I see that I've been requested by the client specifically, well, I certainly didn't expect that, and that's pretty straightforward too. Anyone else would have been excited. They would be working with the Hannah Wright. She's just one of those rich socialites that everybody loves to talk about, no matter how hard I try to tune such nonsense out. It would have been enough for me to reply an affirmative to Chris and leave, but he has never pleaded for me to take a project before. We've worked with big personalities in the past, celebrities, bankers, and even few politicians. My PA had been indifferent about those. So the question bounced about my skull before I spy one of the email attachments. A newspaper clipping from Luxbourne's daily business news section, boasting the headline, Wright Enterprises donates £2.5 million to refuge. It certainly caused quite a stir back then. Apparently they had invested businessmen and socialites everywhere in the guise of it being some big business announcement.
$2.5 million and an expensive looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Not that I should be so callous. They're going to do a lot of good to help a community and people with all those pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts whether they were for show or not. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at a picture that came along with the clipping. Because, wow. Here I am expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and skirt. But the woman that was plastered on the front page looked like she belongs on the front of a page of the entertainment section, or even, if I'm to be crass, as a pinup for a glamour... Okay, I'll be real here, a men's magazine. Sure, she knows how to rock that dress. Yeah. Wait. Her hair, her eyes, her lips. She can't be her. And at the same time, she is her, only several years older. She looks just like... No, come on, Mac. The world is full of pretty blondes. It's just a coincidence. With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. Yet I still don't move from my chair, face flushed with heart racing. I could only stare until I can will myself to reply that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me to just close the image, shut down the computer, and leave. Even then, it has already burned its image into my head, no matter how much I wish it would just disappear. It makes me eager for the alcohol and the company. It makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. So what is she talking about? It's a good thing the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. Alright, let's read our journal entry. Tuesday, October 18th. An email from the Wrights came requesting Marianne McCullough's expertise for their home. What seemed like an innocent commission made a different impact on the famous designer after seeing a picture of the Wrights' missus. So, I wonder what... We're just going to have to dive more into the story to figure out what she's talking about. The Galway Shawl, as it has been called by those who frequented the place, is the only decent Irish pub in this country. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by its official name, the Crawl Bar. My home away from home ever since I moved to Luxbourne. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working anyway. It has good alcohol, good company, and thank God, St. Cecilia, good music. Crowd favorites like the Boothy Noise, the High Wesleyan Men, and the Second Fusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Anyone could just break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they'd start singing along. And doing so while intoxicated is the best way to go about it. Hey, it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of the chorus, and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. And tonight is karaoke night. What better time than to try and sing all the worries away? That's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am, and in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
But drinking only reminds me of my home, and the thought of home makes me think of her.
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
I wish they would have got rid of the background music while she's singing and played the music for her song she's singing. I think that would have been better. It makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Yeah, they should have got rid of that background music while she's saying. Of course, that might just be the booze. Any other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
But I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being a prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride-to-be. So give her a hand, Galway Shawl.
Considering the state I'm in, One can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause rise among the pub's patrons. The pugs. Among the pub's patrons. Because possibly off-key public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as any to belt out in front of these strangers. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight. And I forget, for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
That was so good. You rock, Marianne.
Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh?
Read 'em and weep, bitches.
Wow. Camilla's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for all the world to see. She has reason to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously, she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am. But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
Of course, it's something like Haruna's divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor. I can't be happier for my friend right now.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Well, we both will be there for Cam, won't we? Haruna and I? Haruna, it's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve that, or she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. I'm happy she's smiling again and pigging out like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. We met in yoga class, something I had joined to keep myself in shape and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I moved to Luxembourg. Clearly it worked like a charm. And it definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought along my lucky D20 die with me on that first day. No, sir. I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man.
And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Very busy schedule.
Oh, come on. That's a lame excuse and you know it. You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now. Maybe some hunk will be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
Oh, Mr. Right, huh?
Hey, look at me. I'm Marianne McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
I mentioned druids and demons once. Once! They don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I'm a far cry from a miracle worker, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right.
I love the puns.
Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things. Haruna, you don't have a ring anymore. Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone.
What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
But the more I deny, the louder they tease until the other person in the pub starts to watch, or the other people in the pub start to watch. I wish I could talk. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulders and lean in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
I know that they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So when Camilla notices my silence and Haruna sees the expression on my face, they stop. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with massive hangovers anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass. They smile. We drink. There's no need to say more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Eventually the fun times end. It is a weekday after all. and with Haruna being a nurse, she still has to get ready for her next shift. Cam also has a loving fiancé waiting for her at home and really didn't have to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. Really, I understand. I was the one who insisted, who was determined to get pissed drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit, alone at last. Alone with a stranger. I haven't seen him here before, obviously not a regular, and he hasn't said a word, he just sits there savoring his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and lighter in the other, it doesn't seem like he's noticed me yet, and maybe I should go before he does look my way. Because he was pretty and he was blonde, and those are two things plus alcohol that never did me any good. I thought too late. Judging by the way his flushed face and dazed look in his eyes, he's as pissed drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like kneeling over, he looks like he's still ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see.
Oh my.
Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
I'm not even going to touch that. But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Uh-huh. Fat chance. But it doesn't matter, we both know how to play this game. And there are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. The question is, what do I want to do?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
Excellent. Excellent. He looks like he's about to say some witty retort, but stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep, and he gets another whiskey, and we start the customary small talk. Of course, the saying, ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehoods to establish a strenuous fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I've come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sort. Well, we know that's some bullshit, don't we? Manager of what? I didn't care to listen to details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he's come to call me, is 29, and I'm, what did he say I was again? Oh yes, I told him that I was a professional chocolate taster, because fuck it, if I'm going to lie about what my job is, might as well make it fun. It's a pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers. And maybe it's just me, but we might as fucking well expand the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice, too, if it had just been left at that. But during a lull in the conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
Oh, Lord. And to think that he might... oh, my. And to think he might have been different from the rest. I'm crushed. I'm crushed. Not really.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
I wonder if that's true. St. Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. If she were so lucky, anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Though not every suitor was gallant, and she was no fool, she had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
There must be something that gets you going. He sounds like a rapist. She had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. He has a peculiar sense of humor, hasn't he? Because that only meant suitors kept going after Lucy, and she kept her eyes in chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
St. Lucy, help me. Help me turn away from sin. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you.
Oh my God. So now we know from way back in the very beginning of this game, way back, what that meant when he says, haven't we met, or something like that.
And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream.
Oh boy.
You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Oh boy.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Let's read our journal. Marianne went to the Crawl Bar, also called the Galway Shawl by its patrons, for a night out with her close friends, Cam and Haruna. When they left, Marianne was seen with a stranger who she referred to as Whiskey. In turn, she was called Mint. Oh boy. The best thing about having my condo so close to the pub is ease of access. As long as I can still stand to walk and I can make it home. Maybe I'd need the help from a kind neighbor to help me with the last leg if I've really gone overboard on the alcohol. But I always made it home. Sometimes with company. Of course, that always comes with complications, especially with the real clingy ones. But it isn't anything a good tip about stalkers to the building security can't fix. I'm always nervous though, even if it isn't the first time I've done this. And the first few minutes when we enter my room are the first few agonizing minutes where I try not to panic. Okay, Max, so far so good. Don't let him smell your fear under all that liquid courage. He'll leave sooner or later and I'll never have to see him again, just like every other man before him. I'd like to say to myself that the men I've brought to my place were more scared than I was. Yet there is no fear when I look into Whiskey's eyes, only delight. When he starts touching me, I don't hesitate when I push him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. Well, she's a wild one. And as long as he sticks to the script, everything will go smoothly. We'll have our little tumble in the sheets, he'll leave, and we'll forget about it. If somebody asked what I really wanted, I would have told them that I wanted a bed of roses, chocolates, and music, maybe an Irish castle. But all I really want is her, and that's never going to be a reality. That was my fault, of course, because I was afraid, because I was a coward. They would never hold a candle up to her. She was the light of my life, and I had to let her go. I can't even be bothered by the thought of her. Just the single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through waver.
Wait.
What is it now?
Yes, what is it now? What's it going to be, Marianne? To sex or not to sex? This is wrong because we know who this is. But shh. I'm going to play the right way. I'm going to play the right way.
We're both drunk.
And?
This is wrong. Don't you think it's a bit fucked up that we're about to have sex and we're just calling each other by the drinks that we had? How messed up are we?
Doll, shut up with the ethics and morality talk. It is seriously putting me out of the mood.
Well, I'm already out of the mood.
If you want to leave now, Whiskey, I understand. I mean, with how smashed you are, it'd probably be best for you to sleep the night unless you want to be mugged. But I won't stop you. And this isn't going to happen.
Bloody hell.
Achievement unlocked, cock blocked. Of course, he's annoyed at me for putting off our night's sexual congress. But no means no. And beyond spewing a few profanities under his breath, he surprisingly simmers down soon enough. I was worried for a moment that he might try and force something. Instead, he makes a show of fixing his suit and smoothing down his hair before making himself comfortable on the nearest seat he could find.
What are you doing then? You have a guest in your home. Put the damn kettle on. Dandelion tea if you have it. But I suppose all you have are those shitty tea bags from the store.
He's such a douche. If it isn't for the absurdity of the turn of events, I would have flipped him off for thinking I have no taste. But in the end, I just laugh. All I got are cans of Korean ginseng and lemon balm, though. No dandelion. Without a second thought, I do wet the tea. That's 3 minutes to get the kettle to a boil. 3 minutes where we say nothing to each other. I mean, what do you even say to the guy I was going to sleep with until I changed my mind? I doubt he's in the mood to talk about the influence of Troy's on Mallory. It's still unusual by the time we're both seated on my bed with mugs of tea in hand.
Just so you know, whatever is going on right now is a lot stranger and fucked up than the one night stand.
We are two messed up individuals by your logic.
Everything is messed up, if you ask me. War, terrorism, famine, poverty, loved ones and loved lost. Oh, this whole world is a cesspool.
The dead air is telling me when it fills the room once more. One would think that this is the perfect time to burst, to spill out whatever issues that have made us the fucked up person that we are today. If I could talk. And it is. But I guess some part of me would rather not put the weight of my problems on somebody else's shoulder. It wouldn't be fair to leave that to a person when I don't even know if we'll ever see each other again. Sooner rather than later, we both pass out on my bed, mugs left forgotten on the floor. Alright, we're going to cut this episode here because we are definitely running closer to the high side, close to 30 minutes here. So we'll skip to this. We're going to save. And we're going to end it here. So if you liked the letter, hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching. Be nice to one another. And we'll meet in the next episode. See you guys.